Hello YouTube, and you join me today for Layout Update 9. Now, the first thing that has happened is actually not on the layout at all, because in this room we have got, well, throughout the whole house, brand new windows. So what that has meant is this whole room has had a great big tidy up, and everything has been taken off of the window sills and stuff. And yes, basically the whole room's had a tidy up and sort of a mess up, if that's the opposite of a tidy up. But put it all back, and they look a bit nicer, because I did have sort of diagrams and stuff sort of spread all the way across the windows, and it was all just rubbish everywhere. So I've now made it slightly nicer, and I've dumped a load more stuff on the shelves behind the door. You can see a load of Hornby boxes and stuff there. Now, back on the layout, that means that I've not been running as many trains as I would have done, even though I've just uploaded a few running videos. I've not been running very many trains at all, and when I don't run trains, I end up with what I've been doing scenery-wise, just spread all over the tracks. So I've just spent the last hour having a good tidy up, and you can there's still sort of fence and stuff dumped around the place, but it's a lot better than it was. So first thing, over at the back here we've this is an old Hornby Double, no Triang even, that way up, Triang R61 made in England signal box, which has sat at the back here for a long time, but since we got it, it's had no roof, and I've just dropped it into the shot. So I made a roof a long time ago, which is this card one. Structurally, it's quite good, but as you can see, it looks absolutely rubbish, and actually, the top layer, on one of these sides, the top layer of card, which I've drawn a sort of tile pattern thing on, not really, I've just done loads of lines on it, that was coming off. So, what I've done is I've printed off this from the Wordsworth website, and you can see there, and I mentioned this in my last update. It's a really good website with loads of free downloads of all sorts of kits and brick paper and stuff, and this is a cobbled road overgrown, but we only have a black and white printer, so it looks like normal cobbles that are just sort of falling apart. But it also, I thought, looks quite like roof tiles. So that's what I'm going to use it as. And that's going to be going on here. So in the short future, hopefully you'll see some cobbled roof tiles on this signal box, and it will look a lot better. So, over on this is over by the platform, and you can see this signal box is around the corner, over there, somewhere. Finger on the camera, there we go, it's there. So we've not come far around the line. And this is the station, which I repainted. And I've not done anything since the end of the last update, to be honest. I finished gluing that fence on, but that's literally all I've done. And I've repopulated it, but obviously no one's glued down. And it's all very temporary at the moment. Everything is going to come off. And as I said at the end of the last update, there will be a platform building one day. I will repaint the footbridge maroon one day to match the whole Midland theme. But they're still a very long way off. So what I've been doing in the meantime in this area is I had a little stone wall left over. You'll also remember in my last update that I've been doing lots of stuff with stone walls because I got some for Christmas. So there was a few left over, and here's one of them. And I've basically added it in so that it's a little sort of stone wall that hopefully you can see sort of runs along this track that comes up to the station. Now obviously it's only going across this tiny little corner, but I think it looks quite effective. I've used a hell of a lot of polyfiller, and I've merged all this in, and I've painted it black going up there for now, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it like that or if I'm going to paint this little bit here the same colour as the rest of the wall. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what I've done for now, and I've stuck a little tree stump in, and then I've put a load of foliage and grass and stuff growing on the wall, and I think that looks quite nice in front of this station, so you can have sort of that sort of shot with the signal box in the background. And I have painted, because of this little bit here, and obviously I said I was never going to paint this side black because this side was such a problem. It took ages and it was a lot of effort for not much. Didn't look that great, but I don't know. I might paint this side black. I really don't know. But for now, I've now gone round this corner, and it probably will carry on in chunks like this for about, well, several years. Now, I've not painted the other platform, but I have moved it. Now, despite me marking these out exactly, and, well, I was trying to be as accurate as possible, and make sure absolutely no coaches were hitting this or anything, before I ballasted. It turns out I didn't, basically, because coaches were still catching on the inside of this platform. So what I've done, as you can see, is I've basically ripped it up and taken all the ballast out here, and round over here, and I've basically pushed it back about a centimetre, and changed the angle it's at and stuff. So you can see here we've gone back a good foot or so, and this hill up here, getting in shot, was basically in the way. So what I've done is cut through it and put sort of half of the white edging into the hill a bit, because that's going to be taken up by fence anyway. So I pushed that literally into the hill, and you can see, well, you can't see really, but you can sort of. Anyway, that is sort of basically going inside the hill, which is just papier-mâché, so it wasn't too hard to cut or anything. And now the platform is completely glued solid, and is not going anywhere at all. Just in case you're wondering, that isn't in the way. Basically, I'm just going to glue that on, and I'm going to glue it on without the sort of backing type thing, because those of you who know Hornby, this basically slots into a thing that then slots onto the back of this. So I'm just going to glue this straight onto the platform without the base part, and it does fit quite nicely. So I'll get around to gluing that, and then I've got to touch up all this ballast. Now I'm just coming across from there, and we come to my hill. Now this is the oldest hill on the layout, and I've used some of my stone walls, which you see all around the place, just to basically make make an edging for it. Now you remember this hill is not square at all, it comes round here. So what I've done is I've added more polystyrene and I've extended it out. I've then put grass mat on top, and I've put walling around the edge, and I think that looks pretty good. And this is the back of the pub garden. There's the pub. So it's much better than what was there, because there was basically just the polystyrene came down, you could see a join in the grass mat. So I've got rid of all of them. I've put some foliage on top, which is my usual Easter moss. I've bedded it all in with more grass around the base. And yeah, that looks pretty good. That and the ballasted section, which now has fence all over it so I can fit the camera in. But yeah, I think this whole section is looking pretty good when I tidy it up. We're coming down from that station, and from here even, you can see my little wall. So yeah, that's why I wanted something on that corner. It just looked a little bland on that corner. But coming down, on the crossover now. I've been having some troubles with points, shall we say, for quite a long time on this point here, but not this point here because it's a new one. Basically, the 2 point blades have been going independently, so where it would normally go click or click, they're basically going click or click and click. And you could have 1 point blade so it's going that way, and 1 point blade so it's going straight on. And we've all had sort of mayhem and derailments going on. And then about 2 weeks ago, it decided not to work at all. And it was just shorting out with everything, so I tried to sort of bend the contacts or something to see what was going on, and one of the point blades came off completely. So then I tried to run it, because this isn't a vital crossover, it's more for decoration than anything else, because I usually go up into the main sidings over there, which are currently behind the tunnel, to cross over and take it in there. And then just to take the mickey, this point did how this point started off, and the point blades started going click click and sort of all sorts going in opposite directions. So I had to take it all apart and put 2 R600 straights in just for a while, until I could get out and buy some points. And this point here going up onto the branch line, ooh, where's my hand? This point here is the same type which was giving me the 2 troubles here, which to be fair, the points are about 30 years old. I was intending to buy all 3 points and replace the whole lot at the same time, even though this one hasn't given me any problems just yet. Just to be safe, I was going to replace it, and that's why I've not ballasted this bit. Once all the points are replaced, I'm going to ballast it. So I went out and bought some points, and I found they've gone up again to now they're £10 per point, which I think is ridiculous for what is essentially a lump of plastic and a few strips of metal, because it's not like Hornby's been coming up with new designs for points all the time. There's the same points as they've been doing for years and years and years, and I know they're sort of precision engineered or whatever. They're perfectly accurate to 1/5 of a millimetre or something to stop trains derailing, but I think £10 Hornby, come on, that's way too much for a few strips of metal, a spring and plastic. Because they were so expensive, I only bought 2, and that went over my budget. I had to borrow a load of money off my parents and pay them back. So because of that, I couldn't buy a 3rd point, and because I couldn't buy a 3rd point just yet, this lot hasn't been ballasted. However, this bit has. I've stocked up on ballast supplies, and those of you will remember from previous updates, the ballast came along here and ended sort of across here. So I've ballasted into the tunnel a bit, as far as I'm going for now. Might ballast all the way through, I don't know. I'll go a bit further, but I don't know if I need to go all the way through. Obviously at the camera at the moment you can see all the way through, which isn't good, but when you're standing up way above it, you can't tell so much because the light from the light on the ceiling, that sort of comes down, and the line that it takes, the shadow begins literally where the ballast ends. So for now, at night it looks good, at daytime light comes straight through the window, and comes straight in. So I don't know for now, but what I have done to help with that is I've painted the inside of the tunnel black, and that was a job and a half. I've basically gone in with a paintbrush and just gone, I couldn't even see what I'm doing, I'm just painting whatever I can find inside there. And it has worked, it's worked brilliantly, which you probably won't notice in videos, but from looking at it, just running the layout, it looks like it actually goes somewhere. For those of you who haven't seen this before, you're probably wondering what on earth this guy's doing. This is just a guy that's lost his head, to be honest. It's a guy I've had for a very long time, and he lost his head. Never saw it, but I glued him down here a long time ago, and I love this guy. So there you go. It's one of the random things on the layout. It's like some layouts have mermaids or whatever on the streams. This is what I have. Coming forward from that, on my little work area here, that is, as you know, not going to be sceneryized, is my term. I've just painted it grey, and then sanded it down, and it's actually really, really smooth at the moment. It feels brilliant. I've rubbed it all down so you can actually see wood through it at the moment. But I've just painted that because it was getting quite scruffy, and this is only the undercoat, but it was getting quite scruffy with sort of when I've been painting stuff on this sort of workbench bit thing. So I've painted it all grey, and then rubbed it down, and then there will be a top coat, which I might spray or something, but that's not going to be coming on for a while yet. On top of the tunnel, I've redone one of the cottages. I say redone, sort of started to. What I basically want to do is make this one sort of lived in, and this one's sort of derelict / it was stables and then it's been derelict or something. So if I bring it up to the camera, you can see. So if I bring it up to the camera, you can see I've sort of, where it was blue, I've put a sort of brown on it. So I don't know. Comment below and tell me how much that looks like. Sort of, it was wood. It was painted blue. And now it's peeling off to wood. I can't make my mind up on that. But yeah, so then we're gonna paint the whole thing. It's gonna be painted a sort of sandy stone colour, because where it's printed on currently, it's sort of 3D. So I'm hoping if I paint it, it will that will come through, and you'll be able to see the sort of stonework. So I've done the same thing with the doors as I have with the end frame. What I just forgot to mention is I've broken that off and made it look like, I can't hold this still, sorry. I've broken that off and made it look like it's sort of hanging down, which I haven't done at the other end. At the other end I've just left it sort of peeling off wood. So I painted the whole of the inside black, so now it does look, so that really helped make it look better. And the roof, which currently isn't here, I'm going to put some holes in, so it looks like it's going to have sort of birds and stuff, hopefully, sitting on the roof, and that'll look, then, hopefully, nice and derelict. What I'm also going to do is build a sort of path thing, coming down, somehow, so you can actually get to these cottages, and that will come down, and hopefully, I don't know, it'll link onto this alleyway, which goes down onto the high street, and it also goes round the corner, and comes out over there. But it might just sort of come down and go straight onto the road, so I don't really know at the moment. Again, it's a project for the future that I'm not planning on doing very soon. Ignore all of this mess and stuff at the moment. These are the spare stone walls. So coming across from here now, we're coming back round to this little area, and I've repainted the roads again. So I've repainted the roads, yes, for the 50,000th time. And I'm pretty happy with them this time. It only took 100 attempts, but we're there, and I've put some vehicles on. I've moved this little guy into the area. Once I finished painting, I then added this, so I finished the end of this pavement. What I also think I'm going to do now is I've decided that I think I'm going to have a sort of cobbled area across the front here, and the buildings will be further back, and then we'll have a sort of, like, I don't know, a sort of mini market or something. Obviously they'll have to be like right back there or something. I don't know yet, it's still all ideas, but yeah, we're gonna see what we can do there. I want to make that slightly more exciting than a high street, I don't know. But yeah, so nothing has changed with the corner shop. I'm thinking of I've been doing some more ballasting. Now, when I was doing this ballasting, I did knock the I knocked the fence over, and I broke all that off, which I do quite often, but it's easily re-glued, and I've just re-glued it tonight. So the magnets are still holding it in place till the glue dries. And then I'll do the same with this piece. This piece is still completely loose, and the wheels will also be glued down, which are behind the engine shed. But my ballasting is just on the other side of this, and I've just done not much. Move the bagman out of the way. I've done this little siding here, and well, basically everything from there onwards, but that sort of sort of a line across there, so there onwards, including the point blades, and then I've weathered up that point, but that will be having more weathering. You can see it's just slightly blackened in the middle of the track, and on this siding where trains sit, I've put a bit of oil and grease down on the track, but that will also be getting more, so that's something to look out for in the future. And then I'll also be ballasting up there, obviously, and I've still got all of that bit to do, and around there. So you can see the magnets over there, and I'm now coming down over to the other side of the platform, where I've been doing more ballasting. So to pull this out of the way, so basically, yeah, it's the normal stuff, 50% water, 50% PVA glue, a bit of grass scattered on top, especially at the end where the locos don't get to, and then I've put some old sleepers down for the crane, again, not glued down yet, and then the ballast sort of spreads out with more grass, and that will go right across one day to the other sidings, where the Class 37 and the 87 are. And then we've got this old container, which is another thing, another kit off the Wordsworth Model Railway website, and that's, I don't know if I'm going to glue that on, if I'm going to get a proper container to go there. It's quite nice. I've just put it on a base of some sleepers at the moment, and I've ballasted around the sleepers. Now you'll notice the station building isn't there at the moment, and that's because I'm quite clumsy and I managed to knock the chimney, and I broke the chimney off the top. So at the moment the station building isn't there, that's having the chimney glued back on, and the buffers usually go there, but they're just moved out of the way for the moment because I'm going to build another pair of buffers, or I'm going to redo these ones. So I've just re-glued this bit of fence in, and hence it doesn't carry on like it has done before, because again, when I was ballasting I managed to break all the fence, and while the fence wasn't there I took the opportunity to just paint this little triangle in here, which I'm actually not very happy with. It's way too dark grey, so that's going to be having another repaint. I have painted the roads just up there. You can see terrace houses across at the moment, but yeah, I've painted this little section around the roundabout. But the actual roundabout itself hasn't had much progress. I've just painted the roads, because well, I bought the ballast and then I just got overexcited with the ballast, and we ended up ballasting everything instead. So hopefully by the next update you can expect in this area for the road to be repainted properly again, and the fence will be back, and then hopefully we'll be doing some more ballasting, but I don't know just yet. I never really know what's happening, because it's like I said in the last update, I said I was going to be painting the roads, and it ended up that I didn't really paint the roads that much. I spent way more time on ballasting. So that's about it for this update. Hopefully I will be finishing off that roundabout and the traffic islands over in this direction, and the station building will be coming back, and I'll be tidying up the platform. So yeah, just keep an eye on this side of the layout at the moment. Hopefully I'll also be finishing off the so-called park to an extent in this area. All of this fence will be re-glued properly, this will be going back up, and this lay-by will be redone properly, so then the ice cream van, which has been away for so long, can finally come back. So that really is all from me for now. We might have another gala coming up in the next few weeks, which I'll leave you to try and guess what that's going to be. So thanks for watching, please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye! I've now got a lot of editing to do because I filmed this whole update sort of backwards and added bits in and all sorts, so I'm going to have fun with that.